for a way out. I can't find my way now. I just need you by my side lately.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you an updated brow routine. I'm kind of doing these all on the same day, but just filming a different video for each installment, I guess, of my routine. So today, as you can see, I already have my foundation done. I did a foundation routine. I didn't do bronzing, highlighting, contouring, or any of those things because that will be a separate video. I want to make these really short and sweet, and so whatever the person is looking for, they can get to precisely. So today it's going to be eyebrows. I've had a lot of requests lately for an eyebrow routine, and when I go back and look at my Eyebrows 101, it was quite a long time ago, and I would like to think that I have perfected my game a little bit since then. They were too big, to be honest, too boxy. And if you want to watch that video, I'll link it down below because it does kind of have an evolution of my eyebrows, and it shows how I started and how I ended up there, and it was kind of scary, some of the eyebrows that I did. Like, seriously, Ronald McDonald eyebrows, Brooke Shields times 20 eyebrows, Groucho Marx, I can't ever say that, Groucho Marx eyebrows. Yeah, they have evolved. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you the products that I use whenever I'm doing my eyebrows. And these are in general. I do switch these around from time to time, but these are my holy grails. And I've got them all here for you. So I start off just with a spoolie and an angled brush. And I go in and brush up into the side the very little eyebrow hair that I actually have. From that point, I use these. I have, and I actually need to grab out my powders too. As I said in my foundation video, I am extraordinarily extra. I take a lot of steps that I probably don't need to take, but it's the way I like it. So, yeah. Anyway, the first thing, the most important thing, I like a micro brow type pencil. This is a NYX micro brow, and I use the shade Chocolate. There's an Anastasia Brow Wiz, which is really similar, and there's a lot of other brands now. I choose this one because it's the least expensive, and if I found one that was less expensive, I'd retire this. But right now, this is a great shade, great pencil, and I like it. I don't really use the spoolie on the back of it because it's pretty rough. I just use a regular spoolie. But let me put these down. As you can see, it's called micro brow for a reason. I don't know if that's focusing in on that very well, but it's a very little precise tip, and I like it that way. After that, I will use a small angled brush for the outside of my brow and a larger angled brush for kind of the inner 2/3. And with that, I use the Too Faced Brow Envy. On the outside of my brows, I use the dark shade, and on the inside of my brows, the lighter, ashier shade. So, let's get started. As you guys know, I usually have a kitty cat on my bed. Well, today it's Eli. It's usually Boo Bear, but today it's Eli. Boo Bear must be hanging out with Daddy. And I forgot to say, the finishing touch is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I use that to set them finally as a final step. But to begin with, I have to make the eyebrow. I have to make it. So I'm going to fast forward through this, but I'm just going to show you. I basically make the underline and then the upper line, and then I go in and fill it in. A lot of people do clean up with concealer and all that. I just don't have time for that. I think if I had 2 hours to get ready every day, I would probably do that extra step, but I don't do that. I don't have time. So let's get into it. I do start beyond where my actual hair is, because if I don't do that, it looks like I have no eyebrows. So going in for the underside line.
I've been looking for a way out. I can't find my...
And I also extend it beyond where the actual hair is on the ends too. And just for a little lesson, this is how I learned it. To know where your brow is supposed to start, you line up a pencil with your nose, and where it lands is where you start. Then you line up with the pupil of your eye, shows you where your arch should be. And then if you line up with your lower lash line, shows you where it should end. So, if you haven't seen that before, there's a bonus lesson for you. So I have the first underline done. And now the first 2/3 are going to be parallel to the line that I already have drawn in. And I don't go as far out on the top line as I do on the bottom. I start about right here. And I actually follow the actual hairline where my actual eyebrow hairs are. Once I get to my arch area, I just kind of round it so that it will start its descent to the outside line. And then I meet up with the tail. And now I just kind of go in and fill it in, shaping as I go. And this is another one of those skills that take practice, and doing it when you don't have to go anywhere, where it doesn't matter if you look crazy. It's a good way to practice, is just when you don't have to go anywhere. Like maybe at night, right before you're getting ready to take your makeup off, do a little bit of practice.
Looking for a way out, I can't find my way now. I just need you by my side lately.
A lot of times if you'll look in, I have a mirror right here that's a little further away. I'll look in that just to see if the shape is how I want it. Sometimes really close up, it kind of skews your vision of what it really looks like from afar. And it's helpful to check there. Also, when I do that, I can see where there's sparse places where I need to add some more color, where my skin is showing through too much. And that's pretty good for the shape. When you add the powder, it will also smooth out some of those rough edges. But I am going to try to perfect that a little bit. You know me. It's good to have some Q-tips on hand. I feel like I went a little bit too far, so I'm going to take the very end of that off. Perfectionist, I'm telling you, I drive my own self nuts. Okay, I'm going to kind of zoom through the other one, but I want to show it to you so you can see it being done twice. So I'm going to go in and do the other eye. Other eyebrow. And if you screw up right off the bat, take it off and start again.
I've been looking for a way out, I can't find my way now. I just need you by my side lately. I've been thinking, baby, we could get away and never look back, 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 never look back.
Now before I go in with the powders, I will just kind of smooth these edges where it's not so boxy. Looks a little bit more natural. And now we're going to go in. I keep my brow pencil out because I almost always go back and add a few little details. But right now we're going to do the powders. And this is just my initial way of setting and also filling in any sparse areas. So I'm going to start with the smaller angled brush in the dark color and do the outer third of my brow, the very tail. I like this to be darker, and it's kind of a gradient into lighter. And then I'll go to the other eyebrow and do that. I've got a little area right here that has no hair, and it always looks lighter than the rest, and so I go in and darken that area too so that it looks uniform. And when I look in the mirror and it looks like I don't have any like obvious skin showing through, that's whenever I feel like I have enough. And the shape is good for me. So I stop there. Now I move to the bigger angled brush and I go into the lighter shade. I don't start right at the beginning of my brow, because if I do it starting about right here, then it kind of looks, this looks a little faded and it looks more natural, like I didn't draw my entire brow on. So I start about right here, and I always start on the upper line, and I just kind of do little sketching type motions across the top line, and this really smooths out the line. And then I go through the rest of my brow kind of with the little upward swoop motion, kind of pushing the actual brow hairs up as I go. And I feel like I overdid it right here. This is where cleaning up my brows would help, but yeah, no, haven't decided to take that extra step. No time for it. Again, I'll check in a mirror that's a little further away. And if there's an area like right here that doesn't want to fill in, I will take a little of the dark color and go in with that just to kind of help that where I've got little sparse areas.
I've been looking for a way out. I can't find my way now. I just need you by my side lately.
Okay, I like the way those look. Good shape, pretty well filled in. I don't want it to be like a solid black line. That's the reason why I haven't had much luck with pomades and gels, because it just seems so harsh, and you can't see any skin or any actual hair, and it just doesn't work well for me. I don't like the way it looks. But now, before I go in with the mascara, the tinted gel, I go back with my spoolie and I go through the brow and brush them up into the side, very, like barely touching it, because if I go in real ham with it, it will take everything off that I just got through doing, and I don't want to do that. So I just start by brushing up right here, and I just brush up and to the side and put all the hairs basically into place, and it kind of meshes everything together, but I barely touch it. And occasionally I get too happy and I do have to go back in with my brow pencil and fix it, but that time I did okay. You know, there's all kinds of brow gels. There's a really good one by Anastasia that's clear, so if you don't need the extra color or need the extra kind of bulking, then maybe you want to use something like that. But for me, I use this tinted brow mascara from NYX in the color chocolate. And what I just did with the spoolie, I do the same thing with the brow mascara. I start up and I'm very lightly, I'm not pushing down hard. I'm just coaching my actual brow hairs into the place I want them, which is up and over. And when I get to the end, just pull down. And this is my final step. it does kind of add a little bit of bulk. And for me, it kind of enhances the color. The redder my hair gets, the better the chocolate color looks. But anyway, so this is the finished eyebrows. And I always think that when I don't have the rest of my makeup on, they look really bold and harsh. But as soon as I get the rest of my makeup on, they're just a really beautiful frame for the face. And I think they're important. And I look back on pictures of myself before I actually started filling in my eyebrows, and my face looks so blank, like I don't have any color to my face. So I make a joke and say, that's before I found my eyebrows. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. If it was, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be doing blush, contour, and highlighting, and lips, and a few other things. Maybe false lashes. I'm just kind of gonna go back through and do some little basic foundational videos for people who are just getting started. And I'm not perfect, and I don't do it perfectly, but this is the way that I do it, and I hope it's helpful to you. And let's do that without my bra strap showing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys. And today I'm going to do... my nose itches. Good God, my nose itches.
I've been looking for a way